Hey folks, how you doing? This is Jiminy Critic here today. And as you know, I've enjoyed movies for years and years and years. I've seen a lot of movies. A lot of them have been good, and quite a lot of them have been just terrible. They've been bad. You've had the same experience yourself. Well, today's review is a little bit different. It's about a documentary movie, and the title of this movie is called More Than a Game. And this is one of those movies that I got a real early preview on. This is a movie, by the way, More Than a Game, is kind of the story of, well, it's not only about LeBron James, but of course he now has become a major NBA star in the Cleveland Cavaliers. But it's about LeBron James and his friends' early days in Akron, Ohio, where they grew up.
The city of Akron, this city is what made me. I mean, you know, Boo, this has been, you've been knowing me for the last 6, 7 years now, so, everything that I do, I try to give back to the city of Akron and make sure people know that, this is the reason why I'm here today as an athlete and as a man.
And as young boys, 11, 12, 13 years old, starting to play on a local rec league basketball team together, becoming friends, and forging this friendship with themselves and their coach.
Coach Drew, the sign says more than a game. Is this more than a movie?
I believe that it is. I think that, as documentaries go, it doesn't run like a traditional documentary, but I think that the kids, really have an opportunity to kind of see what went on behind the scenes, and about 5 young men who I started coaching at 11 years old, and they had a dream, and we, through a lot of ups and downs, were able to fulfill the dreams.
And basically this documentary was many years in the making now. By the way, this movie is brought to you by Lionsgate. It's directed by Christopher Bellman. Of course, this is his first major directorial debut.
To me, it was always definitely more than basketball. I'm a basketball fan, but I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert on the sport. And one of my big things in creating this film was to make a journey for people that maybe didn't even like sports. The film deals with 6 major characters, LeBron being one of the big ones, but there are characters there that their stories have nothing to do with the court, and to me that was important. So I definitely think it's more than the sport.
It's rated PG. It's for the family. I think you should take your kids out to see this movie, especially if they love the game of basketball, love the NBA stars, love to think they want to be players themselves. It's a good thing to watch. It's about 105 minutes long, and of course the stars of the movie are Coach Drew, and then the 5 major players that grew up together are LeBron James, Drew Joyce.
It's a great message. I think the youth, adults, anybody can learn from this. Friendship is a great thing in this world, and it's honored and it's respected, and to have a group of friends like I do, it's a wonderful thing.
Romeo Travis, Sean Cotton, and Willie McPhee. And as you watch this documentary, it's really neat how it's done. They have some footage of the guys now in modern times looking back and talking about where they grew up, what they thought, how they acted. And then they've got some photographs and old home movies from each of the guys, and of course some clips of their games as they were playing basketball games. And this ragamuffin team out of Akron, Ohio that, for a number of years became state champions and won games and beat teams that nobody thought was possible. It's kind of the classic underdog story. And I always love movies where the underdog, the good guys, kind of win in the end.
I think it's very inspiring. This is, it's kind of a feel-good story, but it's also, it talks about some ups and downs, and, a willingness to stay with a dream that that was hatched a long time ago as young kids.
This story talks a lot about character, father figures. It's the title, More Than a Game. It's not just a basketball game. It's not just learning to play sports as an outlet for young men. It just shows these guys that you can overcome your circumstances in life, especially if you think they're bad circumstances. And in America, this is the land of opportunity, man. And it just was inspiring. It makes you well up a little bit sometimes, makes you laugh sometimes. I really want to recommend that you get out there and see this movie, More Than a Game. I think you'll really enjoy it. Girls doing their thing out on the streets here. We're waiting for LeBron himself and Entourage to show up.